Hello boys, welcome back to another session of video tutorials. This is meant for class 12th biology students and this session is meant for 27th July 2020. Our memory helps us in tracing out what we have been reflecting upon, and we were talking about the gobar gas production, how microbes help us in the production of gobar gas and what are the various uses of gobar gas, how in our own native places, in our own villages, towns, we can have community based gobar gas plants so that we can have lot of money getting saved in our families. And in this session we are going to discuss and reflect upon very socially useful topic, that is microbes as biocontrol agents. As children of farmers, you know that your parents are spending a lot of money in purchasing the chemical substances in the form of fertilizers and pesticides. Pest, the chemicals that kill the pests. Pests are disease causing organisms. So be it any crop that your father or your parents are growing in your field, invariably the pests will attack. And what is that your daddy is doing? Invariably he is going and using the chemicals. With that, what happens? You know the food chain. We discussed about food chain. The chemical will definitely kill the pest, but it also enters into food chain and finally it reaches our small intestine, causing a lot of problems including the intestinal cancer. Hence, what is the best way? The best way to deal with this situation is using the one insect against another insect, one organism using against another organism. So this is how we can control the disease. The diseases as well as the pests can be controlled biologically, and this is how we call it as biocontrol agents. And the natural method of pest and pathogen control involving use of viruses, bacteria and other insects which are their natural predators and pests is called biocontrol or biological control. They include bioherbicides and bio insecticides. These inclusively are called as biopesticides. As you are seeing the photo, this is a ladybird and the beetle with the red and black markings. This is a beetle, and now you can see it's eating the insects. It feeds on aphids. Aphids will be doing a lot of damage to crops. They eat away the leaves in agriculture field. So aphids can be controlled by just releasing these ladybirds, that is the beetles. Similarly, dragonflies prey upon mosquitoes. So if you got a dragonflies, they eat of the mosquitoes. And free living fungus, the free living fungus is called Trichoderma. The Trichoderma found in root ecosystem. It is normally present in the roots. It exerts biocontrol over several plant pathogens. If there is a Trichoderma in the roots of the plants, then naturally it controls all the pathogens. And then baculoviruses. These are biologically called as nucleopolyhedroviruses, and these attack insects and other arthropods. So these are the four very famous biological sources through which we can control the pests as well as diseases. And how do they do it? You can see the picture here. The Bacillus thuringiensis, that's called BT, Bacillus thuringiensis. That's how you can remember. So the BT. So we call this as IPM. By using all these together, we can manage the farm. Then we say we call it as integrated pest management, or I for integrated, P for pest, M for management, IPM. It involves use of different pest control methods which are ecologically healthy, not to cause any harm to environment. That is our main aim. So biological control methods, better agricultural practices like crop rotation, mixed cropping, sanitation, etc. Most important example is the Bacillus thuringiensis. This is a soil bacterium. This is present in soil. Spores of this bacterium possess insecticidal protein. That protein is called cry protein, CRY. Cry, crystal protein, of course. Don't think cry means crying, okay? Therefore, the spores of this bacteria kill larvae of certain insects. And the commercial preparations of BT contain a mixture of spores and cry protein and is an inert carrier. How this cry protein will kill the pest? This is how you can see here. Number one, first, you can see the insect feeding on virus contaminated foliage. Next, in picture 2, you can see close-up of occlusion bodies where it is attacking. Third, lumen of digestive tract. If you see the section of the digestive tract of this, taking the section, we can see the alkaline condition there and this the insects feeding digestive tract. And the fourth one, you can see virus particles being released from OBs. OBs means occlusion bodies, and attaching to brush border of gut cells. You can see here they are getting attached to brush border. And fifth one, replication of virus inside the insect cell. You can see all these viruses getting increasing their numbers inside the insect. As a result, what happens? The insect will be blasted off. The digestive tract will be blasted off. This is how we can control naturally. And then we can also use microbes as biofertilizers. That is, the organic farming, nowadays everybody uses this word, organic farming. Some are doing very good business in the name of organic farming, though they may not be following it. But what is this organic farming? It is a technique of raising crops through use of manures, fertilizers and pesticides of biological origin. Resistant varieties, crop rotation, intercropping. So biofertilizers are organisms which bring about nutrient enrichment of the soil by enhancing the availability of nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus to the crops. So biofertilizers, you can see here, very, very famous rhizobium. It will be present in the root nodules of leguminous plants, and by being present in the root nodules, the rhizobium will convert atmospheric nitrogen into nitrites and nitrates, and that will be given to the plant. And in turn, what is that plant is doing? Plant is giving accommodation, food and other things. So it is a symbiotic relationship, and that is the best biofertilizer. Rhizobium is a bacterium. It's available in the form of powder, rhizobial powder. And Azotobacter, again, it is also available. Azospirillum is also available in the form of powder. You can see. You can please suggest your parents to use all this rhizobial powder, azotobacterial powder, azospirillum, instead of using pesticides or say chemical structures like NPK, Gromor you call it in the market, Gromor. So it's very costly and also side effects will be there. So this can be used. So free living nitrogen fixing bacteria live freely in the soil and perform nitrogen fixation. Some of them are saprophytes, living on organic dead remains, that is Azotobacter, Bacillus, Clostridium. These convert the dead ones. The most important of the symbiotic nitrogen fixing bacteria is, as I said, Rhizobium. It forms nodules on the roots of legume plants, and there are about a dozen species of Rhizobium which form association with different legume roots. So all this can be used. And also you can see there is one more called Mycorrhizae. So these are all lots of preparations, biofertilizer, organic preparations. What is this Mycorrhizae? You can see last word, Mycorrhizae. It is a mutually beneficial or symbiotic association of the fungus with the roots of higher plants. See, symbiosis is between algae and fungi. Mycorrhizae is fungus with higher plants. So many members of genus Glomus form Mycorrhizae. So you can see the Glomus there. The fungal symbiont absorbs phosphorus for the plant. So what is the role of this fungus here? The fungus absorbs phosphorus and supplies. So NPK is very, very important. All the three major contributing factors is nitrogen, phosphorus and potash. So if NPK is available in the soil, the plants will grow very nicely. So nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria, blue-green algae, form symbiotic association with several plants. Anabina, nostoc, you can see here all these oscillatoria, ajolla, Anabina association is of great importance to agriculture. Ajolla is a free-floating freshwater form which multiplies rapidly, doubling every 5 to 7 days. The fan can coexist symbiotically with Anabina, it is cyanobacteria, and fix atmospheric nitrogen in paddy fields. So if your daddy is growing paddy fields, this is the best one to be applied, so that you have a lot of rice production. Rice plants will be very healthy, and it does not interfere with the rice plant. In some Southeast Asian countries, especially China, the rice fields are regularly provided with ajolla. So ajolla is available in the form of powder. So you can see here the fungus, how it protects and helps in absorption of, you can see the mycorrhizae also here, and the phosphorus is getting transported, ammonia, nitrogen, or converting free atmospheric nitrogen is getting converted to nitrite and nitrate. So all these are because of natural ways. So mycorrhiza is the relationship, symbiotic relationship with fungus with higher roots of plants, roots of higher plants. And you can see cyanobacteria, blue-green algae, so that's a symbiosis. Anabina in ajolla, once we take the section, you can see the presence of Anabina here. Ajolla leaf is taken and taken a vertical section, VS, and you can see the presence of Anabina inside. And free living nostoc, oscillatoria and blue-green algae, all these will have a lot of the biofertilizers. So overall, we have got microbes that work as biocontrol agents. So there is no need for us to use any chemical pesticide. Biological ones only we can use. And the most important ones you must remember is the beetle with the red and black margins, ladybird it is called. And the second one that I said was dragonflies, which kills the mosquitoes. And then Trichoderma, very, very important, present in the root system. And then you can also remember baculoviruses. This will control many insects. And to have high yield, you must always suggest to your daddy to go for IPM, Integrated Pest Management. What is that integrated pest management? It's a combination of different methods to be followed. One is biological control method. Second is better agriculture practices like crop rotation, mixed cropping, etc. And use of BT, Bacillus thuringiensis, and the cry protein will play a crucial role. You must remember that, cry protein. And then bioherbicides are used for inhibition of growth of unwanted plants. Weed control can be achieved by introduction of specific organisms like insects which feed on the weeds, like cochineal insects feed upon Opuntia. So I repeat, cochineal insects feed upon Opuntia and check its growth. Weed control can also be achieved if herbicide resistance gene can be introduced in the crop plants. It is possible through genetic engineering or rDNA technology. We will discuss this in chapter number 11 and 12, rDNA technology under biotechnology chapters. The general application of herbicide will kill only weeds but not the original crop. That is the important one. So transgenic tomato, transgenic tobacco, all these have been formed, they are developed, and they show very good progress and show a lot of tolerance to specific herbicides. And the bioinsecticides are the biological agents that are used to control harmful insects. They include predators, parasite, pathogens, and natural insecticides. And of course, we said biofertilizers, all this what you are seeing, these are all biofertilizers. Instead of using chemicals, please suggest to your parents to use